All right, I'm here with Eric Devendorf, won a title with Boeheim's Army in 2021 after a great Syracuse and TBT career. Eric, welcome back to the show.
Hey, man, appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. So the reason we got you here today is, of course, to talk about Boeheim's Army. But the big thing, the big moment is the 2017 25-point comeback. You guys had a 40-10 run to end the game. You actually made the go-ahead layup for the lead that, you never gave back. Just start with that. Tell me what you remember about that game.
Oh, man, it was an unbelievable atmosphere to start off with. It was in Brooklyn, I think LIU, playing against the Morris Twins team. And they had some talented guys. I know Malik Wayne, Tyshawn Taylor, Marcus Kennedy, I believe, just to name a few. So they're, it was back and forth in the beginning. They're, obviously kind of giving it to us. But, we had some fighters on our team as well. Trish, James Southerland. Who else we had? Myself, I think Dante. So, I mean, we had a lot of guys that have played through, adversities in those type of situations. But to be down that much, in a TBT game, everyone knows how tough that is to come back. It was amazing, man. And I think the crowd had a lot to do with it once we, started creeping back in there. James hitting the three, Trish getting the and one. It started getting a little bit more tight on the other side with the other guys. But it was an amazing run. And to be able to do it in New York with our fans, it was pretty incredible to be a part of.
So was there a point in the game where you were like, this is it, we're done, this game's over?
I mean, I don't really have that type of mindset. Like, you're just going to keep fighting all the way through the game, regardless of what the outcome is. You're going to keep competing and keep playing as hard as you can. And when you do that, sometimes it works out for you, right? The team starts to make mistakes. They start to get a little bit tighter, doing things that, they probably wouldn't usually be doing. So, when you keep playing hard and competing at a high level like we did, things like that could happen. And that's the beauty of sports. And I think that's what, really made the TBT special is anything can happen. High level guys competing against each other. And that game was, one we'll definitely remember.
So that 2017 team didn't win the championship in 2021. But what did that run and that game do for you personally and the Boeheim's Army name's confidence to be able to go on and win a championship?
Well, I mean, I played in it, I don't know, 7, 8 years, and we were always right there knocking on the doorstep, right, and trying to win a championship. So I don't think it was ever a doubt in our mind that we could do it. We just had to put it together and be consistent, for, 6 games or however amount it was, to get there. So, I mean, that game definitely, gave us confidence, going forward. We ended up losing to the eventual champion overseas elite in Baltimore that year, which they had obviously an incredible run, winning 4 or 5 straight, whatever it was. But we had a team that could do it, and eventually we were able to do that. But I think it was just fun for everyone getting back playing in the summer with guys who they played with, guys who they might have looked up to and playing in different eras. So we always had a confident bunch. We're just lucky that one year we had a special year and we put it together.
So that year, you actually said to me on Inside TBT, this is the year we win it. We had a little joke that you kind of said that to us every year once we started interviewing you, but that year it came true. What do you think it was about that year and that team that you guys were able to get over the hump and finally win?
Oh, this is the type of people that we had on the team. The mentality we had amongst the guys, a never quit, fight to the end mentality. Guys were ready to get in there and mix it up. I mean, that tournament, I think we led the tournament in rebounding by a big margin. And defensively, we were really stopping teams and making them shoot hard shots, take hard shots. So that was kind of the emphasis for that team because we had guys, everyone could score, myself, obviously Tyrese, DJ Kennedy, all those guys kind of, took a back seat to the scoring and did the other things. Tyrese was really the only guy that, who was doing a big load of the scoring, but everyone else contributed in different ways, rebounding defensively, making little plays that you need to make to be able to win this type of tournament, because we've seen guys score a lot, individually, but that's not going to win this type of tournament. It's too many talented guys playing. 1 through 5 on the court. Both teams are pros, so we had the type of guys to do it. We had the type of mentality as a team to do it. And even within those 2-3 weeks, we had a lot of confrontations within the team, but you guys were pros. We figured it out. We put it together in that span of time. And like I said, it was a special group, and it was pretty awesome.
So college is only 4 years, for some people 5. I guess now, actually, for some people, it's been 6 or 7. But you
Right.
you mentioned you played in TBT 7 or 8 years. What did that championship mean to you personally, Eric Devendorf? Not Boeheim's Army, not Syracuse, but to you.
Oh, it meant a lot. I mean, I think just being a part of it, being the guy who was the first one to really be a part of it, and then stick with it every year after that. I was able to score a lot of points, make a lot of exciting plays, win a lot of games, but I never won a championship, and that was the whole thing of it. To be able to get there and win the money, playing great was a good, I guess, cherry on top, but to win it, that was the ultimate goal. So when I was able to do it my last year of playing there, it was it was like everything that you kind of worked for during those years, finally came, to fruition, and we had the group to do it. And, that was what it was all about.
Do you think you'll name your next kid after Kiefer Sykes?
No, I'm not having any more kids, man. I got 2 girls already. I'm good.
In terms of moments where you've been on the court, on the sideline for games, where does that Kiefer Sykes shot rank for you?
Well, I remember I was right in the corner in the 3, because I remember I got the rebound and then kind of pushed it up a little bit, gave it to Kiefer, and he rejected the screen because he seen the guy jump, boom, and then there was really no help there. It had to come from my guy if it was going to come, and then he rose up, and I mean, he made a quick decision, and that was beautiful, man. When it went in, it was really like slow motion, seeing it go through the air, and then being able to see it replayed, and they got the music in the background. It was awesome, man. That was something special right there, for real. And then it was cool for him, everything that was happening, as far as with his kids, and being his son's birthday, and then getting signed by the Pacers. It was special, man.
Last question for you. Did any part of you feel any jealousy that you weren't the one that hit the shot?
Oh, no, not at all, man. Not at all. Like first of all, we all get that same amount. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, but no, I mean, that's not the type of dude I am, man. Like, going back to the 3 weeks that we were together, and like I said, it was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of confrontations. And we all kind of put in that same work, you know what I'm saying? We all went through the same thing. So to be able to put it together and achieve our ultimate goal as a team and win the championship, like I said, individual numbers are cool, but the main goal of the whole thing is to win it. And we were able to do that. I don't care if it was, whoever it was to hit the shot. We won the game, and Kiefer had a huge part in winning the whole tournament, man. So it was special for him. It was special for us as a group, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
So safe to assume Boeheim's Army will be back. If Boeheim's Army's back, you're involved. There's no Boeheim's Army without you. Are the shoes put away for good?
I mean, yeah, as of right now, I do my with the kids. I get out there and still get up and down a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I don't have any plans on playing again. I don't even know really what it is going forward, but I guess we'll see, and I'm sure I'll hear of something going on, and I guess we'll go from there.
All right, before we let you go, where can people find you? You have your own show now. Talk a little bit about what you're up to now before I get you out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Syracuse doing a lot of stuff in the community. We just had a turkey drive, doing a lot of different events like that. I do my ED23 Hoops, which is my basketball company, where, training groups, individual, team camps and clinics, things like that. And then you mentioned the show. I have my podcast, The Scorers Table, and also the Devo Show. Myself and Chris Joe, we do that out of Galaxy Radio here in Syracuse. Syracuse. So and then also just doing like the post game radio for Cuse basketball. So yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, at ED23Hoops on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, it's just Eric Devendorf. So yeah, man, I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Eric Devendorf, the champ. Thanks for coming on.
All good, man. Appreciate you.
All right, I'm here with James Southerland, played for Syracuse, played for Boeheim's Army. James, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely, man. So, we're going to cover a bunch of topics for sure. But to start things off, when you heard about Boeheim's Army, joining up, that there was going to be basically a Syracuse reunion team playing in TBT, what were your thoughts?
I thought that was a great idea, because especially being in touch with the same guys today and knowing how competitive they are, it just felt great, especially playing with some guys that I didn't get a chance to play with when I was at Syracuse because either they left for the NBA like Dante Green or went off and left like Eric Devendorf. So it was definitely a great feeling to get some guys that I've grew up not only watching, but being friends with and getting to play with them.
When you got the call, how quick of a decision was it for you to join the squad?
Definitely. Like I remember the first time, the first one we had an early exit my first year there in Philadelphia. But the next year, it was like, no, we want to go back over there. We felt like we have what it takes to go do what we got to do.
Absolutely. So I want to fast forward to 2017 because you mentioned the first year in Philly. I want to fast forward to 2017. All right, you guys made a run to the semifinals, but there's no run to the semifinals without the biggest comeback at the time. I think it still is, but at the time, the biggest comeback in TBT history against Team Foe, the Morris twins, coaching that team, put that team in. I want to open it up to you. What do you remember from that game? What was that experience like for you? Because you were the leading scorer in that game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, first of all, like, gotta give credit to those guys because the Morris twins they put a good team together. They had a lot of talent that I played with, like Taylor. Also, had some guys like Sean Evans who played at St. John's. They had Kennedy, Marcus. So it was like they had a really really good squad, and they got on us early, and it was basically we didn't want to go out like we went out before, so I felt like it was time to step it up, and luckily for me, I was the one who helped out a lot.
So we have a decent amount of listeners, so not too many people hear this, but you can be honest. Did you think the game was lost?
Honestly, you know what it is? I feel like at halftime, it's just like you sit there like damn, what are we gonna do now? Like kind of stuck. But when one thing is about us, especially being rivals in college, when they start talking, like we start playing, and having a guy like Eric Devendorf who never backs down, he won't back down from anything. And once Team Foe, like, they started feeling themselves a little bit, I feel like all right, nah, it's time to take it off, chip off this win or something.
There was a quote, I think it was a tweet from Buddy Boeheim that said, I'm here with Jim, I'm here with Coach Boeheim. He said that was the greatest comeback he's ever seen. What do you think in terms of all-time comebacks that you've seen or been a part of? Where do you think that ranks?
That would definitely be number one. Like, it was not even close because this circumstance, it was almost like all hope was lost. But no, like, we just kept chipping away. Most importantly, our guys bought in. We saw what kind of hill we had to climb, mountain we had to climb, and we just got it done. Everyone knew their job. Everyone did what they had to do, and we just did it.
So you were not on the team that ultimately won the championship in 2021, but I got a feeling you were locked in. Is that the case?
Definitely, I was watching them for sure. I mean, it's tough, but it's great seeing us get the job done. So definitely felt like I was a part of that win, just being a part of history with Boeheim's Army.
Very cool. I want to talk about your time at Syracuse a little bit. If you didn't have a good time at Syracuse, if you didn't have a good career, if you didn't make memories, you wouldn't have wanted to play in TBT. You wouldn't have wanted to play on Boeheim's Army. So
Exactly.
when you think back to your time at Syracuse, what are some of the, funny stories, good memories that come to mind for you, on or off the court?
Oh man, there's, you know what? There's so many. I can't even accumulate how many stories I have. But it's just, of course, basketball is always fun. You go there, you play, have so many great memories on the court. But really, it's off the court with the same guys that I basically played in the TBT with. That is the reason why we want to play together. So we definitely make bonds even before college and all that. Stories. Oh, we got so many stories. So there's so many stories. We had stories with each other, stories of locker room stories with Coach Boeheim. His nice speeches and the halftime and all that. But there's so many stories that we have, and it's just good to like grow together during that time in college, and then still being able to be in touch today to do TBT.
Do you have an example of a Coach Boeheim story where maybe after the speech you were like, did he really just say that, or what's he talking about?
I think it was my first, like, honestly, I think my freshman year, like, you really don't know what to expect as a freshman. Like, you think you know, but you really don't. But we were playing, I'm not sure if it was at the Madison Square Garden or it was we were playing somewhere. And I've never heard, he's good. He's laid back on TV, but in the locker room, he flipped the switch, and all I remember is actually having a sip of orange juice. He started wailing away. I spit my orange juice out, and I couldn't hold in my laugh because I was not expecting that. And he was going. It was the most craziest thing for me, like my freshman year. Like, yo, there's no way he's spazzed like this, and he was on it, but he was not afraid. One thing about him is he's gonna let you have it, and the thing is he wants you to fight back, and that's honestly I feel like that's what helped us in the TBT because he will. He's one of those coaches that he's gonna talk his trash to you, and you know what? And he expects you to respond. And I feel like we all had that in us, especially in the guys in the TBT.
Absolutely. You look at the legendary coaches, Coach K retired, Roy Williams retired, Izzo and Boeheim, that's kind of the last two of that generation. Who do you think will be coaching for longer, Izzo or Boeheim?
Oh man, listen, I always put my money on Boeheim when it comes to staying at the queue. So you know what I mean. As long as he wants to do it for me, man. And I know we had some rocky times and trying to find a way out, but it's still good to see that he's still doing it.
So, after Syracuse, you've played in your fair share of leagues, NBA, G League, overseas, TBT. What are some of the differences or things that set aside TBT from your other leagues that you've played in?
I would say the timing of the league. The league's in the summertime, and it's usually a time where there's really not a lot of basketball to watch. I know recently they have some league. Of course, you have summer league and all that, but it's only like a couple of weeks. You have the big three and all that, but the TBT really set its mark, and it gives you that NCAA feeling. So, and also like some professional feeling. So, and you get to see guys that you grew up watching in the NBA, in college, and if you're a fan of your university that happens to have a team in there like Best Virginia, got like some Gold Big East rivals, Syracuse, and some other teams. Like you see the guys that you grew up watching, and I feel as if it's definitely cool to see a mashup of different generations play with each other or different times at Syracuse or wherever school you're at play with each other and compete. And I feel it's great. I see University of Buffalo had their squad in there, and they did a great job, And it's nice to see things like that.
Absolutely, back-to-back New York teams winning.
Exactly, exactly.
So, I know that you're playing with the G League Ignite right now, but there may be a lot of people that want to hear from you. Can you talk a little bit about where you are now in your basketball career and what you're up to?
Oh, definitely. I'm over here with the G League Ignite. We're located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and Coach Jason Hart, who played at Syracuse as well, he's the head coach of the team. We have a lot of great talent. We have Scoot Henderson, who's a really phenomenal talent. I can't even begin to describe his game and how good he is. Some other young guys like Leonard Miller. Leonard Miller. We've got a lot of great talent here. So one thing is being one of the older guys and being well experienced playing all over. Just want to help out and give them a little push or whatever they need get over that edge or to prepare themselves for the next level. And right now we're kind of in the hole right now, but hey, that's what happens when you have young guys on your team. You got to find a way to get out, even though that's not an excuse. You got to go out there and compete every day.
There's a lot of players who, make their assumption about other players based on watching them, based on seeing what House of Highlights puts out, what ESPN puts out. There's media analysts who make determinations about players. You probably know where I'm going with this. I need the Victor Wembanyama scouting report from a player who actually played against him.
Yeah, I was looking to get a couple minutes against him. Unfortunately, he blocked my shot. I thought it was a goaltend, but what can you do? I feel as if really he's definitely a special. First of all, just a special human being. Forget about talent-wise, just being that tall. Like people dream of being that. Like that's freakishly tall. That's like almost 2K, like almost like a video game. But basically, he's very talented as well. It's not only his height. He has skills that you've never seen before for somebody his height. And he's very smooth with it, and being his age, definitely the sky's the limit. Definitely wishing him all the best, but he's really just a freak of nature. There's really no complaining, no explaining. And also, like, I feel like he could really do it all. To be honest, he could do it. He'll flow perfectly with whatever whatever team he ends up on.
So I'm going to Paris in March.
Oh, nice.
I'm going with my girlfriend. I think should I bribe her to let me go to a Victor Wembanyama game? They play Mike James's team, another TBT. I think I got to find a way to that game.
You got to find a way to that game. That's a good game. Mike James is in Monaco. He's in Monaco right now. Yeah, so that's definitely a good guy. I actually have some teammates that are in Monaco, and that would be definitely nice to go see. I think that's the game that's closest to the NBA you can get over there in France for sure, and it definitely would be a good crowd there for sure. But
yeah, I'm definitely going to try and convince her. You mentioned some of your teammates that are on Monaco. One of the last few questions I have for you: top teammates. Doesn't have to be in order. You've played with a lot of guys. Who are the first names that pop in your mind?
Top teammates. At every tier, I would have to go with. I'll say NBA would have to be Kemba Walker and Al Jefferson. Those two guys right there, just two great guys. I grew up with Kemba since I was a kid. He went to Rice. I went to Cardozo High School in New York, and played a couple AAU games with him at Gauchos. I was the one jumping around from AU team to AU team. But just growing up with him and seeing how well he's done for himself. It I just love that story. And also Al Jefferson was a guy who took me under his wing as soon as I got to the league and all that. And he's been great. And of course, college, I can't forget my boys, Chris Joseph, Raheem Christmas. Those are my boys right there. Brandon Triss as well. I could keep going. Like, honestly, I still speak to these guys all the time, every day. So like, these are just it was just great growing with them and taking off on our careers together.
Last question for you. Is the door closed on you playing in TBT with Boeheim's Army?
I wouldn't say it's closed. I never close any doors, but if I get that call, I'll be there.
I'll see what I can do. I'll pull some strings. I'll say we need Southerland back. We need him back.
Gotta get the guys back, right?
Exactly. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you chatting about that crazy comeback. Anything else before we get you out of here?
Oh, no, man. I just appreciate what you guys are doing. TBT's definitely changed the game, as you can see. We're doing it here in the G League. We actually had an overtime game where it's Elam ending and 7 points. We should have won that. We got robbed, but hey, you know how it is. It is what it is, 7 point game. You got to do what you got to do. And it's exciting. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of the season. Hopefully I get to catch a couple of your games on TV.
Appreciate it, for sure.